Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Marie, also known as Red and Second Life. Today I'm going to be speaking with Morgue and Brendan, who are coming from the UK. So you guys can hear this on CCTV and also Blog Talk Radio. But first, let me have them chat a little bit, and then we'll start our conversation, and you'll hear Morgue and her wonderful work. Hi, Morgue.
Hello.
We are finally on. We are live. So this is Brendan's first time. You've
Yes.
been on before. So now you're in a whole different country. It's so funny. It's like we're always dealing with time zone issues. Last time you were in Germany, I think, still, when we talked first time.
Yeah, it was German. Yeah, that was for missing Kinder, for missing children.
Yeah.
When we talked the last time. So that was that back in 2010.
I know. Time flies. And now
Yeah.
your whole life has changed in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely, in a good way. Yeah. It all came about in 2011, basically. So it's been 2 years, and I've been here for 1.5 years now. So that's great.
That's great. So welcome, Brendan, your first time on the show.
Thank you.
So basically the program is going to be very similar to your event on Saturdays. I can talk forever with both of you. Our program is just about half an hour. And so I told Morgue I wanted to basically talk about, you both are creative types, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe you have a different type on top of being creative. And wanted to know what inspired Brendan in terms of songwriting, and then Morgue when you're doing your poetry or any other type of writing that you do. I saw something on your Google that says, are you a poet or a writer? I don't know if it's a recent post or not.
Yeah.
Is it recent? Have you had a writer's block recently?
Yeah.
Well, no, not really. I think we sort of sometimes, sometimes think that, we haven't been very creative recently. And then we look back at what we've recorded and what we've created and what we've done, and actually, I'm impressed. So yes, I think we're pretty productive at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said with my post on Google, it's just yesterday, yeah. I was just thinking, God, I haven't written anything
Nothing.
since last year. And then we figured out that it's just not true. We looked up Brendan's playlist, and there are quite a few songs we wrote together. And then all the recordings we did, of course. And I wrote a few, I wrote 1 or 2 other pieces which I wrote right at our real life writers group.
Oh yeah,
Just
you
a
mentioned that.
Monday evening. So, so that's quite something different. It's not like we haven't done anything really. It's just that I haven't written any poetry.
I know. I feel the
So
same way. I don't know if you heard, like I'm basically writing more microfiction than poem, where I used to write more poetry than anything else. And now it's a lot of short stories, and I feel funny because I kind of see myself more as a poet than a prose writer or microfiction writer, so it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, it's a deviation from your own image, right?
I know.
I think it's all designed to stop us developing the feeling that we're in control of the muse.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah.
It's a
But
good-
as to inspiration, yeah, I mean, everything can be inspiring, really. I had poems written just by someone saying something, it might be a word, it might be a sentence I pick up in a discussion or in a conversation, conversation. Oh, blimey, I'm running out of words today. or something I see, you know, it's, or I read something and think about a topic and get an idea to write something about, or something that upsets me, you know. There are things in the world.
Yeah, or even when
Yeah.
when Brendan plays something, sometimes his music actually makes me want to write because you hear the lyrics and it kind of triggers something else.
Right, so you want me to play something now?
Sure.
All right, okay, yeah, we can do that. Actually, these are not my words. The next song will be. But this is the song that very first brought us together.
Oh.
And it's a poem that Morgue wrote. And somebody said to her, this isn't a poem, it's a song, it's a set of song lyrics. And I found this set of words in front of me. And it's the only poem I've come across that has a bridge. And a bridge is a device for connecting two sections of music in a song. And so, as song lyrics, it works an awful lot better than it does as a poem.
Oh.
So, but essentially, at the time I worked on this particular song, Morgue and I kind of knew each other. She'd been to a few gigs, but we'd never really particularly spoken. And this was the start of something magical. So it's called Until I Know. And I hope I'm close enough to the microphone because we're kind of crowding around it a little bit.
Until I know. Black is the color of my deepest night, when even the moon and the stars seem to hide in the dust shivering under our feet to the rhythm of a lost heartbeat. Voice inside whispers, let go, let it be. There will be light, a new day you'll see. But the heart says no, I can't let go until I know. Blue is the color of the deepest sea, where love and hope seem to drown endlessly, spiraling towards a big black hole in the darkest night of my lost soul. And a voice inside whispers, let go, let it be. There will be light, a new day you'll see. But the heart says no, I can't let go until I know. Why the black has to be, why the blue between you and me, why the yellow had to go. And a voice inside whispers, let go, let it be. There will be light, a new day you'll see. heart says no, I can't let go until I know, until I know, until I know.
All right. I need my little gestures from Second Life to just clap away.
Yep, and
So Morgue
That's all.
inspired that one, huh?
that wasn't so much a collaboration because we kind of each did the bits of it ourselves on our own. But, well, we both enjoyed the end product equally, I think. Yeah. So, what next?
What do we do next? So, have there been other collaborations that you two have?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Many.
I think it's fair to say that certainly with the songs, everything I do now is collaborative, in the sense that, of course, it's always helpful to have somebody who you can bounce ideas off, and particularly with songwriting, there's the idea, there's the sort of first draft where you just turning the idea into words, and then there's the honing. With songs, you've got to be quite careful about things like syllable counts and making sure it's on the beat and all that stuff. And then with the music, the chord structure, and there are songs, for example, where Marie suggested that instead of playing a chord in the major, I play it in the minor, and that sort of thing. And all of this is just sort of backwards and forwards, and it's just a joyful process. We have a lot of laughs, and we're very good at kind of checking ideas out with each other, and feeling free to go with the idea or not go with the idea. There's never any ego that I've particularly noticed in the process, and that is wonderful.
So no disagreement ever?
In the 18 months that Morgue's been here, I think we've kind of hovered on the edge of an outright row about 3 times.
That's it.
And then one or other of us has just sort of thought, let's not play that game. And we haven't, So, no, we haven't had a row. There are things we disagree about, in a sort of, I suppose, intellectual preference sort of way, but not enough to get heated about.
Well, we are still 2 different persons. It's not, we don't have to be all the same in everything. So, I think that's that's the main thing to say about it, really. There is nothing to fall out about, and especially not when we're working together, really. I mean, if it's a song, we both want to be the best we can possibly do with it. So we try our best, but it doesn't mean that I am right and he has to take on everything I say, or the other way around.
That's true.
Yeah, we try and see if it works, and if it doesn't, then try something else. So
it's a good approach. I mean, it seems to come naturally instead of sort of like a forced way of doing things. I mean, I think writing, and unless you're in a band as a musician, it's such a solitary sort of activity. So I'm always sort of like envious of people who manage to find another person, regardless of the nature of your relationship, that you're able to write or edit each other's work or listen and then give feedback or even do something together. Which you two make it sound very easy, but I've seen sort of the reverse of that approach, where it doesn't always, I mean, it could have good outcomes, but the process can be kind of painful in some situation.
Yes.
So,
well, I think think it can be, of course, if both have their egos and have to be right, and think they know it all, you know. I surely don't know it all, and surely with the songwriting, I mean, that's not my area really at all. I know a bit, and I know a bit of music theory so far that I can have some input there, but surely I'm not a professional musician as such. So, but also with the other writing, I mean, it's all very similar, really. If it comes to lyrics or poetry or whatever creative writing you do, it's very similar. It's the same process, really. So we both know what we are doing and what we're talking about. And I don't think I know more than him, or he knows more than me, or I'm right in what I do and he is wrong, or the other way around. So we just do our best, basically.
That's great. So I know you do, I don't know if you're regular, do you do a writing workshop in your community, or is it mostly on your own that you typically do, whether it's your poetry or songwriting?
We don't do workshops as such, because personally I don't particularly think of myself as a teacher in that particular sense. Yes, I've written some songs that seem to be widely appreciated, and I love my babies, you know. But I don't see myself as an expert on the subject. And for me, songwriting is, I don't know. Yes, there are tools and there are techniques and there are things that you can kind of use to hone a set of lyrics or a musical structure. But I don't know, it's too, I suppose in one sense I'm too busy doing it, and in another sense I don't feel, you know, if you want to write a song, was it Pliny the Elder who said, if you want to be a writer, then go write. Right. You know? and that's very much how I see it, really. Just get on with it.
Instead of I mean, I think we live in a, you know, depending on where you are, a lot of time we analyze the craft or what should be happening instead of just doing it. And it's tough because there are some writers, regardless, or artists, they have a process where it's like every day I need to write, or I need to have a song. And sometimes it's like, I don't know if people go through like a dry spell or something, but it's not something you can just keep sort of producing like it's some sort of factory, you know, product that you're doing. It's like it has its own sort of, I don't know, it sort of control itself in a way. Like you may want to write but nothing comes out, and sometimes you're not thinking about it and it just flows out of you.
Yeah, I certainly hear about you know, prominent recording artists who have signed themselves into a recording deal where they've got to write sort of 3 albums in the next 2 years and that sort of stuff. And I can see that being an absolute living nightmare for me. You know, that's probably the thing that would stop me writing anything for 3 years. You know?
The pressure, the deadline.
That's right. Yes.
Well, I know Morgue, you had a piece published recently, right? I think? Or is it coming up a few months ago?
I had 2 pieces published last year.
Oh, great.
There's another coming up this year in September. This is one of the poetry magazines over here in the UK. It's called Acumen Poetry Journal. So I will have a poem in there in September. At least that's what they said. They said it's shortlisted.
And that issue?
So there you go.
Which one will be in September? Have they told you which one they picked?
Yes, it's How a Heart Breaks.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sent 3 in. I don't remember which ones, but that's the one they picked. But I'm quite happy. Yeah, I mean, they picked one of them, so that's good.
So that's good. I mean, do you think, Second Life, how do you think Second Life has changed the way you, not writing necessarily, but the way you share your work, both of you, in terms of performing or reading to others, to an audience that's not right in front of you?
Surely, I don't know. The first time, I remember the very first time I was up to, not read because we didn't have a voice at the time, but put it into text chat. First time, my very first poem I wrote, and that was at the Blue Angel. And I was absolutely nervous, wrecked, really. And it's been like that for the first few times. And then when voice came up, just the same situation over again. And I had the same happening in real life too. I've been reading to an audience in real life twice now, and both times I was just shaking.
Oh my God.
But it's getting less every time you do it, because you just get used to it and you just go on with it. So I don't think it's changed anything really.
Not much. Yeah, it's funny, like, the people are not in front of you, but there are some pieces that I read, it's almost like they might as well be right there in the room with me, because the same sort of palm sweating and voice changing even. It's like the whole thing is happening. And you're like, those people are not there. They can't do anything. So, but you still have that, I guess, nerves. The nerve still comes on. So would you like to read something for us? We have a few minutes to go, and then Brendan can do another piece.
Well, I could actually read, I picked that because, it's going to be published, and I thought that's a good thing to read, just read it here, and that's How a Heart Breaks. Really. So here it is, How a Heart Breaks. It does not break with a big bang. First, there is a small hole, like mice starting to nibble away pieces of cheese. You hear the noises of little feet scratching, tapping, the munching. You see the crumbs covering the ground. You know the mice are there, but you cannot find them. So you clean up and pretend it is just your imagination. You do this day after day after day, until finally you look for the cheese. It lost substance, cracks run through it like veins. You take it and it falls apart, crumbles through your fingers, falls into the silence, whispering a last, I love you. So that was How a Heart Breaks, and that came out of a discussion I had with another friend in Second Life, that was Mikael Barre at the time. So we talked about relationships in general, and love, and breaking ups and stuff like that. So, and then, that's how this happened.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I usually see him on the Wednesday open mics. I think, I don't remember who hosts that one. Maybe Jilly does that one too.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And Brendan, what do you have next for us?
Right, well, this is a song that I've written recently, and it comes very directly from my experience. And it's certainly my profound belief that any output that's kind of worthwhile comes from a place of honesty, of self-awareness, of just being in touch with yourself in a mental and emotional sense. And one aspect of my upbringing was sexual abuse, and I am now 58 years old, And it's only in the last year that I've felt that I'm in a place where I can kind of share that stuff with the rest of the world, and aware that, you know, it's a song that I could perform, and when I deliver a song, I've got no idea what buttons I'm pushing in other people. And certainly the research evidence suggests that 1/3 of the population, of all populations, experiences sexual abuse in one form or another at some stage in their life. And so I'm very aware that at the end of a gig I could be getting messages saying, you know, from people essentially wanting to tell me their story and things like that.
Right.
And I have to be kind of sufficiently emotionally robust to be able to deal with that, and I have to be responsible in what I say and how I say it. So this is a song called "That's What Predators Do." That you'd always be my very best friend. Your protection was something on which I could depend. But you were quietly waiting, biding your time, waiting for the moment, feeding me a line. The predator plunged, 'cause that's what they do. You swept down and took me from above and behind, like an owl with a shriek. You stole away my senses, and I thought you were amazing. But you should have helped my parents with the child they were raising. But sexual abuse wasn't in their field of view. I regret that I still blame them for not having a clue. All I had to do was everything you told me to. All I had to be was everything you needed from me. All I had to say was nothing to anyone. That's what you forced me to agree. Secret safe for decades too long. When I remembered what was real, you were well and truly gone. At last I tasted freedom tinged with guilt and with shame, until with help I realized that I carried no blame. Is leave you back in yesterday. All I have to be is anything I choose today. All I have to say is heartfelt truth in my own way.
you.
Predators do.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
it's quite interesting that we recorded that song. I recorded that song, and it's been presented to my SoundCloud page, and it gets quite a few visits and quite a few listens. And you know, I noticed a couple of days ago that somebody listened to it 7 times.
Oh wow.
And I'm thinking, there's something going on for them. Nobody's been brave enough to leave a message about it, but you know, it seems to be making an impression on people.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I did see that on the website, so I'm hoping I'll hear it again during one of the events, and we actually run out of time.
All right.
Time flew by. But I'm gonna see you guys on Saturday. And
Yep.
Yes.
I'm hoping, yeah, 1 p.m. SLT. We'll talk some more, and then I have Brendan's website on the screen, which I'll share, and people can listen to the songs right on the website, which is awesome. There's
Yeah.
So I did listen to that song earlier. So I'm hoping you guys will come back again, and we'll have, you know, hopefully hear more songs and more poems, and maybe new ones from Morgue in the next few months. So
Yeah, and maybe I share my flash fiction piece I wrote.
yes, maybe
And
that
if we
would.
haven't written anything, we'll share our shopping list with you.
Yes, that would work too. You never know. Anything can trigger your to-do list, you know, those things.
That's right.
Yeah. We write those all the time. So I hope you guys had a great time, and you know, the invitation is open to come back again before your next
Yes.
birthday, Brendan. You say your age so comfortably. It's always fascinating to me. So yeah. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hope you guys
Thank
have
you.
a night rest, and maybe you dream about poetry and songwriting in your dreams,
Oh, yeah.
and wake up writing, you know, madly or something. So I will see you in Second Life. Thanks again for being on the
Yes.
show.